Good morning, everybody. This is Jonathan Brunasso here with Jarret McAllister. What's up, sir?
What's
Our
up, brother?
Tuesday weekly team training series coming to you. Today is January 26th. Got a new year, a new administration in front of us, a lot of exciting things, a national convention coming up. So I'm ready. I'm already busy in January, which is not normal. So today is going to be a little casual. We're going to cover some success stories. Would like to hear as many as possible. We're going to briefly touch on selling against Tesla. And we may have a surprise guest, Tony Flores, jumping on to talk about some door knocking. We'll open it up to some Q&A, see where the conversation goes, and then leave you with 2 to 3 upcoming events to look forward to. So with that, Jarret, you always have some success stories. Let's start with you, and then we'll go around and hear a success story from the team.
Yeah, so as I was just saying right before we started recording, well, I closed 2 deals last week, so that was pretty good. One of them, well, first of all, let me just start off. Both of them came from social media. They both came from a prior installation where I posted this beautiful picture and got a couple leads. Both the leads turned into appointments, sold both of them.
Wow.
So it was, that was great. On the second deal, it was the biggest system I've ever done. I mean, literally, when they brought back the proposal, everywhere there was a panel, that's what we sold. There was no more room for any more panels. And these guys, I mean, their average bill was $650 a month out in the Brentwood area. They need solar bad. And so I pitched them. It was about a 20K system, went through my beautiful presentation, but all the way at the end, they said, Jarret, where do we sign up? And I said, right here, we're going to get you qualified. Neither one of them qualified, unfortunately. And it was kind of a crazy situation because she balls out. She makes 180 grand a year as an escrow officer. He does well. He does like 60 a year. They have investment properties, beautiful home. I mean, money's not an issue with these guys, but last year, in June, July, one of her property managements didn't catch the tax reassessment for her escrows, and they were just paying the monthly mortgage, and because it was just slightly under the readjustment, it counted as a late payment. And next month, when she paid the mortgage amount, it went back to the previous months, and that was a late payment. So she had 2 late payments on her mortgage, not because of her fault. She didn't qualify on LoanPal or Sunlight. That's when I reached out to you guys. You suggested Sonova, said, hey, it could potentially go through over there. And it did. They passed. Super stoked. So now we're moving forward with it. So that was a huge win.
Nice, man. Congrats. Yeah.
So definitely learn to get, I would definitely hope that everybody here, if you haven't used Sonova yet, learn how to use it because it's a great backup option. I do believe, is it Alex?
Alex? Yeah, correct.
He'll be on the 2nd, right?
Yeah, February 2nd, next week, guys, we will be doing a Tuesday training with Alex from Sonova. So we'll cover Sonova in more depth. They have,
so make sure to be on that for sure.
Yeah, they have a lease PPA program, as well as Sonova has a 25-year 1.99 loan. I always recommend trying Sunlight Financial or LoanPal first. Sonova does have more requirements, more pictures, more paperwork. The process is longer with Sonova, but if you need them for lease PPA or a 25-year 1.99, they have lower credit restrictions. So if LoanPal Sunlight does not go through, let's get with a mentor that has Sonova, and let's get them qualified.
Absolutely.
Cool, man. Congrats. Any more success stories out there?
Hey, quick question, JB. What area is Sonova in? I know it was limited by marketplace.
Yeah, what's up, Danny? Sonova is in most states that we're general contractor. So I know that they're in California, Florida, Arizona. maybe Nevada.
Texas.
Yes, they are in Texas. We can share Alex Atmore's, that's his name with Sonova. We can share his contact info and we can always ask him those questions. Pre-sales should know, but it's in most states that we're general contractor.
Okay, thank you.
Of course. Anyone else like to share a success story? Lily, if you're still there, I know you
I was
have.
about to say, Lily's always crushing it. I'm sure she could pull something out.
She had someone join her team recently. She posted a recruit. How'd you get that recruit?
Yep. I was sorry, it's so dark. I'm sitting on my couch. I didn't feel like sitting on my thing. It was somebody that actually I had spoken to a long time ago about Powur and everything. And she was just like, it's the holidays, I'm working a lot. She's in the jewelry business, so she sells like really expensive diamonds. And then when I posted vacation pictures, she actually just said, hey, when you come back, I'm ready to sign up. So people want to do the kind of things that we get to do, you know. I always just encourage them. I actually had 2 other people reach out. So it's been pretty organic. I stopped recruiting myself, like, you know, calling people all the time and all that. I just let them come. And I've told people, you know, come to me when you're ready to you know, when you have leads and we're going to close them and you're going to make money. And so that's where we're at.
Right. Awesome. And you're on
Someone checking their voicemails? Or?
Lily.
No, it's not me, I swear.
I sell you?
No, look.
It's the only
look,
one I
my
can
hand.
see that's not on you.
On you.
Oh, there we go.
All good. Anyone else like to share a success story, a recent lead, referral, ambassador, win, consultant, even a challenge? Maybe switch it up. Go to a challenge that you're having. Anybody, jump off.
Jonathan, I'll share.
What's up, Robin?
So Jonathan and I working on this. This came from it came from a lead way back, that a sale that Jonathan made, that I referred to him, gosh, Jonathan, a little while ago. But that gentleman he just sent us a lead out in Lucerne Valley, and Jonathan said it's like the largest deal he's ever done. So I guess that's got to be a big deal. And it just really came from the I guess it's his grandfather, and he's really happy. He was happy with the work from working with Jonathan, so he just sent this lead over to us, and we're just waiting for the second bill to come in, and it looks like we'll do that. We actually should close that deal.
Yeah, their electricity usage is insane. They have a residential meter and a commercial meter, and they use thousands of kilowatt hours a month on each meter. The usage is crazy. So we're waiting on one more electric bill, and that should be a slam dunk. Probably 30, 40, 50 kilowatt system. So we'll see. Thanks, Robin, for sharing. All right. Anybody else? Anthony Blackshear just jumped on. Cynthia, any more stories, successes you'd like to share? The baby wants to share. Dwayne Smith in the house. We have a proposal today, Dwayne. You're on mute. Oh, he's connecting to audio. Let's give it a minute.
All right.
Dwayne, can you hear us? You want to unmute yourself? We're having technical difficulties, so.
All right.
All good. So let's just move it along here. We wanted to touch on selling against Tesla. So Jarret, you want to bring up a few things regarding that? We'll open it up to the floor.
Yeah, I mean, you know, since I've been in this industry, and look, it hasn't been that long. Although it has been over a year, about a year and a half now going on. You know, Tesla seems to be that one when people are price shopping or quoting, that it's hard to kind of break through their mind the difference in pricing. especially if you're brand new. You see the pricing and you go, how the hell do I compete with that? And they have the name brand recognition, of course. And so you get a lot of new reps that question. I've sold against it, but it's not always easy. And it's something that I know people do come up against. The most recent one that just came up was the solar roof. Like, that's a thing now. Like, I remember, I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago, maybe even longer. I saw the pictures of these iridescent, crazy, rainbow-looking tiles on people's roofs, and you're like, wow, that's the future. It's not like that anymore. It's like these nice-looking black roofs. There's actually roofers. I was watching YouTube videos, and they're like, yeah, you can get a solar roof for 30 grand. Like, why wouldn't somebody do that? So it's going to come up more and more, because that's what Tesla does. And so we got to figure out ways to, what gives us a competitive advantage. The difference, the different value that we bring over Tesla. What are the disadvantages of Tesla? Getting to the truth about it, because on the surface, it looks like a win. And I don't blame people for wanting to pursue or look more into it. So that's why we got some solar ninjas here on the call that are able to overcome those objections. So I thought that would be a great topic to talk about.
Yeah, I'll bring up a few items around selling against Tesla. Paul Leon just posted in Power Pioneers a few days ago. They recently changed their warranty. So they provide a 10-year installation warranty. This is also the warranty for roof penetrations, inverter replacement, and things like that. So there is a 25-year manufacturer's warranty, like on the panels. Depending on what inverter they use, it might be 12-year. They tend to use a string inverter. They don't use micro end-phase inverters, which are seen as the best in the industry. So it's really beneficial, I think, to add Solar Insure 30-year on every deal: parts, labor, roof penetrations, shipping, installation. 30 years, no deductibles, and it's transferable. So when you sell with that against Tesla, it's really easy to say that we have better warranties and we have better equipment with the end-phase inverters, and usually our panels are better as well. We work with more roof types. They won't touch a flat roof. They won't touch lightweight tile. They're very cookie cutter. You can only get 2, 3, 4 sizes. You can't customize it to the size that you want. I used to work there, right? So they fired all their local sales reps. They closed all the local warehouses. There's no local support. If you're trying to get an inverter replaced, it could take months and months. Just simply Google Tesla solar reviews, and you can see that the reviews and customer service is almost non-existent. So my general advice when going up against Teslas, bring the margin down, bring it down to that 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, do what you need to do, sell it cash, or bring the interest rate down to 1.49. A lot of times our monthly payment can get within $10, $15, $20 of their 20-year monthly payment with Solar Insure added in. So if you really leverage the warranty, the better equipment, the better interest rate, the better customer service, you get me, you get Powur, you get solarinsure.com. And we also have a referral program. I think Tesla's is probably $250, right? If you go with me, Mr. Homeowner, I have $1,000 referral. That's one of the benefits of doing business with me. I'm going to help you earn a few referrals in the next year or two. And so that's going to make up for their payment of $10, $15 less per month. So that's a few things I do if I ever come up against Tesla. And as far as the solar roof goes, I barely get that. I try to design black on black panels. I keep them on the back of the house, the sides of the house, aesthetically pleasing as possible. And really, it's only for someone that needs an entire home roof, right? Most of our clients don't need an entire new roof. So it's not practical. With incentives going away, with net metering changing, it's vital to get the solar on the roof ASAP. All utilities are going up in price. Why do you want to throw away thousands of dollars waiting for this roof that could take years to get? They've only done a handful of installations. So let's get you renewable energy today is usually my pushback on that. Make sense, Jarret?
Yeah, it does. It makes a lot of sense. And, you know, you being the pro that you are, it rolls off the tongue so naturally for you when you're pitching against it because you've done it hundreds of times, you know, maybe 1,000 times against Tesla. So those are all great points that you made, Jonathan. You know, just to kind of recap, string inverter versus micro inverters that we use, best technology, we have the best warranty, better equipment, we use all roof types. With Tesla, you're not getting local support. With us, you're getting full support, including myself. And a better interest rate. Payments just about the same. We have a better referral program. We're local. And we're going to get your system installed this year rather than next.
Exactly.
So, okay. Yeah. And also, one thing I have noticed too is when customers are shopping you around or they're comparing you to a Tesla rate, they typically are the price that, correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like the price that they show online when you go on and look, that's post tax credit price is what they're showing.
It depends. Yeah, usually it can be. You either click on the incentives or click off. Let me see if I can bring it up real quick for us. One sec. So they usually have you put in the address and average electric bill, and you see recommendation. So there's either cash or loan, and they're recommending an 8.16 kilowatt system right off the bat. You can either show potential incentives, cash price, price after incentives. So it does break down the tax credit, but the loan, I like to click on the loan here. And then let's click this right here. So their loan 8 kilowatt system is only $16,400.
It's about $2 a watt.
Yeah, you're right there, about $2 a watt. I mean, we can get down to maybe 2.7, and it just depends on the size of the system and what you're doing. But if you guys look right here, 5.99% interest rate. That's super high. 20 years on a 5.99 interest rate. So even if you're at 2.9 or $3 a watt with a 20-year 1.49, your monthly price is not very far away. And so they only have a few options, 4, 8, 12, or 16 kilowatts. But if someone needs a 9 or 10 kilowatt, you know, they're forced to either go up or go down with Tesla here. And if you read about the agreement as well, it's just not as inclusive. It's not good, only with a 10-year warranty on this.
And they don't use, there's no such thing as like a Tesla panel either.
Correct. Yeah, they normally use hand wah panels. They use just a generic solar panel. They don't have their own brand of panels.
Correct.
I don't even think they use Panasonic anymore. They're really just using like a hand wah panel with a string inverter is what they're doing.
And for those that don't, can you explain the difference between a string inverter and a micro inverter? Not a super detailed difference, but like what is a string inverter? What does that mean, Jonathan?
Yeah, so a string inverter is one centralized inverter on the side of the house. It's what converts the energy from AC being produced off the solar, comes all the way down to the central inverter, and that gets,
DC, right, JB?
I'm sorry, DC, there you go. DC from the solar, direct current, goes down, goes to the inverter, and then the inverter converts it to AC. Thank you. So the house can use it.
Is that the same as like a solar edge inverter?
Solar Edge is a little bit more advanced. I call that like a smart or intelligent string because Solar Edge puts an optimizer underneath every panel. The DC power still flows down to the central smart inverter, but that inverter is a little bit more intelligent because it can read every single panel, per panel monitoring any spikes in electricity, shading. If one goes out, there still is some allowed to be flowed down to the inverter. So it's a little bit better than a traditional string inverter. So those are string inverters.
So is the disadvantage, just so we understand correctly, is that on a string inverter, are you saying like if shade gets on one of the panels, that the whole system stops producing or not as efficiently?
Don't quote me on this, but with traditional string inverters, depending on the arrays, there may be like 4, 5, 6, 10 panels per string. So there's different strings that come down to that string inverter. Now, if 3 panels are shaded on a string, the panels behind them, that energy will not continue through to the inverter. Or if one goes out on a traditional string, the ones behind it, power will not flow through. So it's not as efficient if you have shading or if a panel goes out on a traditional string inverter.
Gotcha.
With the optimizers, they help solve that problem to an extent. They do still allow some energy to come through and the system to be more efficient. Ultimately, if you guys go back and watch the N-phase training from last week, N-phase, which is known as microinverters, are the most efficient. They're individual inverters under every single panel. That's where the energy gets converted from DC to AC right on the spot. So that allows all the energy to come down to the combiner box. There's a box on the side of the home known as a combiner box. So every single microinverter comes down. If one panel goes out or one panel shaded, all panels still operate at high efficiency. With microinverters also, you can put panels like 1 or 2 on its own roof plane. You don't have to have a minimum of 4 or 5 like Solar Edge or string. So microinverters allow for one panel to be landscape or one to be portrait or one to be east facing. You don't have to have a minimum of 4 to 5. And with N-phase microinverters, since energy is flowing down as AC, not DC, that actually is less requirements for conduit. So for example, if you're pre-wiring a home or you're doing an attic run or it's a new construction, new build, with microinverters, you only need like a plex, a flexible conduit to go through the house. But with string or Solar Edge, you'd have to have a metal conduit. So there's some advantages to having microinverters. If a microinverter goes out, only one is going out, the rest of the system's still performing. With the string inverter, if it goes out, you have to replace that string inverter, otherwise the whole system is down. So there's pros and cons, and the string is not as easy to add on panels, whereas the microinverters are a little bit easier to add on. And I'm just really going to be excited once we get the N-phase battery. Yeah, it's going to be a game changer, guys. Storage and batteries, especially with the N-phase battery we're going to get, if you're in California, is super, super popular.
Do we know what inverter that Tesla actually uses? I mean, it's kind of actually a little mind-blowing that they would use such outdated technology as just a standard string inverter. I mean, if they're already subbing out or using Hanwha panels, I'm not sure why they wouldn't just use like a Solar Edge inverter instead. Put their name on it or something.
maybe anybody else on here knows, feel free to jump off or text it in the chat box. But Jinlong, Ginlong, is one string inverter that they may be selling.
I see something online. I just Googled it and it says Tesla launched its own solar power inverter electric January 14th of this year. So I think they're going to be using their own, but they were using Delta and Solar Edge before that.
Delta, yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Yeah. Thanks, Lily. Delta is the yeah. And I think in certain cases they were upgrading to Solar Edge. And my guess is producing their own inverter, they're either going to white label somebody else's or maybe make their own, but I don't think it's a micro inverter at the end of the day.
And this
It looks like it's a string inverter.
Yeah, this all comes down to just knowing your competition, you know, rather than just letting your customers go do their own research. The only thing with Tesla that I would suggest for them to do their own research on are the reviews, you know, because you don't want to badmouth a competitor. I always, you know, when going against somebody else, especially like a name like Tesla, I start off by praising them, saying, hey, Tesla's an awesome company. Elon Musk, he's a stud. Love the electric cars. They're a great electric car company, kind of paving the way. Solar, it's not really their thing as of yet. Not to say that it can't be in the future. And then kind of list off all the difference, you know, all the differences that JB laid out previously. But then saying the one thing I would be hesitant about though is their customer service. They do have somewhat of a reputation. I would, encourage you to do some research on that, you know, and to Google search Tesla solar customer service reviews. And it's kind of nightmarish, you guys. If you guys go ahead and do it live, it's not good. People, you know, who've been in construction for over a year, or not being able to get somebody out to their house, or if their system does go down, 3-4 months, still not getting a call back or anybody out there to fix it. And now they're paying for their solar and they're also paying for electric use.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
Probably switch gears here in just a second, but want to touch base. Any questions on Tesla, selling against Tesla, their price, their loans, the equipment? That was a little high level if you're new to solar. But any questions on selling against Tesla? Jump off mute, type it in the chat box.
I do a lot of questions. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Lily.
I do a lot of. Okay, I do a lot of question-based selling when I address Tesla because I want to draw it out of them. I say, so let me ask you something. How important is warranty support after the sale, during the sale? Like, do you need answers immediately, or are you okay with waiting on, you know, getting responses and designs and doing everything electronically? So then they're like, oh shit, I got to do all that. And they kind of like have an aha moment. Like, I really don't want to do all that and deal with, you know, I say, is we're saving a little bit a month worth, you know, you having to do a lot of the grunt work, or you're more like a set it and forget it type of person, let warranties handle any issues. And, you know, are you that kind of person? And most people, 90% will say, oh yeah, I don't want to be dealing with this. Exactly. So that's what we are. We're a full service suite. For 30 years, we're in charge of everything. You know, it's very hands off for you. But, you know, if you are the kind of person that's very hands on, then that might be an option. And then I do recommend you check their reviews online and just understand you will be working with a big corporate company and you're just a number versus, to me, you're my client. I will take care of for the next, you know, we build a relationship and I am your point of contact, and you have 3 levels of warranty for whatever you get from me versus just a standard 10-year. And then I kind of reiterate. So I don't talk bad about it. I let them tell me what's important. And I say, based on what's important to you, this is why I think you might not really enjoy the experience with Tesla, because you know, these are the shortcomings. And then that's it.
Nice. Very nice. Great advice.
This is Michael Jackson out of Texas. I got a real quick question. Say, how much do you really have this come up with Tesla? Like 1 out of 10, 1 out of 50? What's the average of hearing about Tesla in a pitch?
All
When you're with it?
Do you want to answer that, Jonathan?
Yeah, I'll get, everyone's answer is going to be different, Michael, but thank you. So for me, I have such a referral-based business that it doesn't come up too often for me. It's probably 1 in 15, 1 in 20 for me. So it's not too often. What maybe happens is I uncover that they're shopping other competitors, and so I might drop my price down. It's far and few between that they specifically say Tesla. I can think of 2 to 3 times in the last 6 months where a customer straight up told me that, though. And I have lost 2 to 3 deals in the last year.
All
Jarret?
right. Well, I got another real quick. Are y'all doing a Facebook a lot, door knocking? Which one are y'all getting the best results on? Because I know how to market.
We're going to switch to door knocking here in 1 minute. We have a VIP guest joining us, but Michael, I'll send you, I have a 45-minute video that we did, and there's lots of trainings that cover some of those things. And it's going to be amazing if you can sign up for the national convention, scaleup.solar. You're going to have like 10 of the best salesmen and women with Powur, all giving 20 minutes of education on what they're doing to be successful. So
Perfect. Yeah, we signed up today, all ready to go.
awesome.
Thank y'all for your
Great
time.
job.
Thank you. Well, I'd like to switch it over to a guest of ours. He is not new to the solar industry. He's been really elevating his game, training on different resources, companies, websites, platforms, programs. He brings a lot of door knocking experience. I think Lily has worked with him closely recently. And so we want to just switch gears to some door knocking tips, tricks, and scripts. So Tony Flores, are you there, brother?
I am here. Thank you for inviting me here.
Yeah.
And glad to be a part of your team finally.
Woo-hoo.
So
Love your background.
yeah, thank you. It's actually a solar panel that I have hanging on my wall. So I do actually have that panel hanging on my wall, believe it or not. So door knocking. So I personally like to go into door knocking. I do door knocking and digital marketing. So I have them both running at the same time. Okay. And I also have a group of people that do cold calling as well. Some of my people that are VAs out of state that are here in the US, they go ahead and do cold calling and set up appointments for us too. So while we're hitting doors, we're also getting digital leads, appointments, and the cold calling is also being done so we can get appointments. When it comes to door knocking, there's a couple of things I do right out of the gate. If I have to go ahead and train somebody new that's never done door knocking, which lately that's all I've been getting, I spent about a good 2 days of just going over scripts, going over preoccupation, going over how to break the objections, how to overcome them, how to tell when you're not going to get through to somebody, just know like today's not their day, come back a different day, how to go ahead, even break through the objections, move past it, and let's go ahead and try to get a letter of intent. And we want to come back within 48 hours. Okay. I don't like to do anything over 48 hours. The reason for it, because that's when the tendency seems to drop off. Just like 48-hour, code cases, right? After that, then you're going to have to be doing a lot of follow-up sequences, a lot of text scripting, a lot of video, selfie videos to them, let them know, hey, just want to say we'll keep in touch with you. So with that said, first day of door knocking is we will go, and Jonathan can share it with the group. It's called a scavenger hunt. Okay. This is a tool that Sam teaches, and this is a tool that Vivint uses. And what it literally is a scavenger hunt, right? You print up about 20 pages, you give it to your knockers, and you let them go knock doors. On that, they will go ahead and ask for a piece of toilet paper written COVID-19 currency is one, a VHS tape, a DVD, there you go, CD-ROM, picture of a high electric bill. They'll get $25 Venmo over to them. Obviously, the manager or the owner will go ahead and take care of that. A selfie with the homeowner saying, in your case, saying Power rocks, right? Or something along those lines, right? And then you just tell them at the end, like, hey, again, I just started. all I need to do is just go ahead and get this. I'm not here to sell you anything, but it would really, really help me out if my boss could come back and talk to you about, you know, how he can help you save money on your utility bill by looking into hearing us out about solar. Get their full name. At that point, they're going to feel bad for the new recruit, and they're going to want to go ahead and give them an appointment, guys. This is the easiest way to get appointments. Your new reps or new people that are doing door knocking are probably going to walk away with 5 to 10 of this stuff filled out. What they do is the minute they walk away, they go ahead and fold it up, put it in their pocket, pull out a new one, go to the next person, okay? What you're trying to do is break them, get them into feeling comfortable and being able to knock doors, right? This is the whole point. When they come back to you and they tell you, oh man, it was great. I got 10 appointments, blah, 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 or whatever they get, you then pull that away from them. And you pull it away from them and tell them, okay, great. Tonight, work on your script. Practice it, remember it, write it down, everything. You need to do it because tomorrow you're not using that scavenger hunt. What's going to happen is they're going to ride that roller coaster. Yeah, you can put up the regular door-to-door approaches. They're going to ride that roller coaster and then they're going to come down, right? So when they go back out, you want them to like who you are, right? I'm the guy working with your neighbors who are going solar, right? I'm helping my company generate future business by word of mouth. Hey, we're back. Everybody got this. Everybody got solar, right? Hey, we're just switching, upgrading your electric system. You know, if you have clients or if you got an appointment out of that neighborhood, do not hesitate and drop that and say, yeah, I'm just here to talk to you. My job here is just to go ahead and collect information. Your Johnson's down the street. We have an appointment with them later today at 2. So is your meter on this side or that side? Right? You go ahead and address them that way so you can get them like, oh, okay, well, my meter's on that side. Okay, perfect. So what my job is just to go ahead and collect the information. And what I can do is swing back with an energy audit that my company performs. It's free, no charge. I'm available I'm here at 2, so I'll be available anytime after 4 to 6. Tomorrow I'll be back from 12 to 5. Right? So you give them the 1 or 2. You have them go ahead and pick a time. Don't let them tell you come back in a month or 2 from now. The minute they do that, they're going to fall off, right? So you want to break, and then another thing, you want to break preoccupation, right? You want to build rapport. Name drop call. If you're knocking your area, name drop how long you lived there. Or if you grew up in the area, name drop how long you grew up in this area, right? I'm here specifically helping families. This is key. It's always stressing helping families. I myself need to do a better job at this. I have a tendency when we close a deal, I put close, okay? I need to switch that over to I am helping. We have helped another family go solar. Okay. That's a mindset thing. And what that does is when people start looking into you, they're going to start searching you up. They're going to look in every social media platform. And part of the door knocking too is key is make sure that is on point, guys. That has to be on point. Okay. Mine, I'm starting to switch over to I'm helping families. And the reason why you want to do that, because that just sets the mindset. When they do look into you, they can see that you are actually doing your job and helping families. When they say, when you have close, that comes across as you're a sales rep, as you're just a salesperson. Okay. So keep that in mind too. You also have to remember they're tuned into one station and one station only. And that is WITFM. What's in it for me? What's in it for them, right? If they go solar, what's in it? The reason why we're doing this is because we're taking your utility bill, we're turning it from a bill to an asset. Okay. So you want to use stuff like that. You also want to pull back and say, you know, solar is also not a good fit for everybody. You know, we still have to come back with our measurements, make sure your roof is perfect. We gotta make sure that there's no tree shades or like everything has to be in good condition, right? You want to do a little pullback on them too. So they can be like, whoa, wait a minute. My house is great. Like, what are you talking about? You know, I want it. How can I do it? You know, so you also they want to transition, right? I'll just show you really quick. Again, I'm just going to be back in this area today and tomorrow from this time to that time. When's a good time I can come back and just show you? Again, I'm just the one that does it, just shows you the cost savings. I'm not the one that does the design. Always push it off, put it on somebody else, make it sound like you're just there to collect the energy and you're not doing the actual proposal, okay? So you can always, you know, have that pushback too on them. Ask them when they bought the house. Closing comments, right? I could have my engineer here. This is perfect. This is extremely perfect, right? So again, when you're right at that closing point on the door and you're ready to like just do a same day close, sounds really great. We're having a great conversation, right? You're having that great conversation. You got the utility bill. They already tell you like, hey, we want to look into it. We've been looking into it. We just haven't come across the right company. And you broke all those steps and you're now at this point. The best thing to do is that, you know what? You're ready to move forward. I'm happy for that. When's a good time tomorrow? I can have my engineer come, I swing by and go ahead and take a look at your roof so we can get this going for you. You're now transitioning into that final stage of actually helping them select solar and moving forward with you. The deal I'm offering would include the front and back of your roofs or just one side. What works best for you, right? By then you're also putting in their mindset that they have a say in this and they can visualize where their panels are going to go and where they would like them. A lot of people will tell you, I don't want them in the front. Okay, perfect. So you want them in the back, you know, how many do you think you need? You can start getting into that point. If you want to take advantage of this discount, I can reserve your spot. If not, I will have to go to one of your neighbors and give this, right? At this point, what I'm doing at that point, I'm creating a Jones effect, right? Where, hey, I got to keep up with the Joneses because I don't want them to get it, right? You guys want to do that too. Some of the other tactics that Sam and those guys use, and I've seen it personally, they will go ahead and knock a door. They'll ask them to come outside. They'll point to the neighbor's house and go, so I'm just curious. And literally, this is their opening line. I'm just curious, but your neighbor across the street has solar. And I'm pretty sure you get this a lot. A lot of people probably come by and knock your house. You know, it looks like you have a great roof. I mean, just from outside looking at it, looks great. Why haven't you gone solar? Right?
Ended question.
Yep. Boom. Right there. Right. And they're like, well, wait a minute. Who? Oh, you know what? And they'll tell you why they haven't gone solar. Because you're not doing that. Hi, my name is Tony. I'm with blah, blah, blah. I'm here today to talk to you about solar. You're not doing what typical people are doing. At that point, you're breaking the preoccupation right out of the gate. Right. A lot of times at work, a lot of times it'll backfire too, because people will be like, oh, I just don't like the way it looks. Okay, I understand that. You don't like the way it looks. Why is that? Is it because you don't like it being in the front, backs, you know, your sides of your house? Like, what is it that you don't like? Okay, so you got to learn, just try to continue to break it, right? Eventually they're going to tell you, and then you're going to have a real conversation with them where they just tell you like, well, you know what? I'm moving in 2 months. Okay. You finally now got to a point where you're having a real conversation on why it is they're not going solar, right? They just told you why. Now you're having a real conversation. It's no longer, I don't own a house. It's not, hey, you know, I don't like the way they look. I don't want to save money. Now you know why. So now you can have a real conversation, right? Okay, perfect. I get that. You're moving in a couple months. Honestly, if I was moving in a couple months, I wouldn't want this either. But better yet, how about if I can get your name and number and perhaps an email address? And what I can do is contact you within a couple of months so we can go ahead and see on your new house if this is something we could look into for you, right? By then you're setting it up. Right now with COVID, I went down to LA and I knocked, and I took a group of guys that never knocked before. One thing I found out in LA, people are willing to talk to you guys. Here in the Central Valley, there's not a lot of people that want to talk. So one thing I did learn is from LA experience is when we knocked the door, we gave us a good 8 to 10 feet back, and we had that conversation. Before we even went further, we asked them, hey, because of COVID and we have COVID protocols in place, we're doing everything via Zoom. Is it possible I can go ahead and send you some information on what it is we do and how we do it, and show you and educate you on solar panels? Can I get your information? We got their information right up there on the spot willingly. Name, phone number, email address. Okay, great. So we're going to set up a Zoom. What time can I put you down for a Zoom? Because it's Zoom, we're going to be available between 4 to 8 today and tomorrow. After that, we're pretty much booked up. I'm not sure when's the next available date. When's a good time we can jump on that? And in the meantime, I'm going to shoot you a text real quick. please shoot me back your utility bill. Obviously in Edison, it's a little different, right? So you guys got to figure out how you guys can get your usage. So there's some links you can send them where they fill it out and you can get the usage that way too. You can do that and just ask them for their usage. Okay. When you leave the door, text them again. If it's tomorrow, text them that night saying, hey, video, hey, I'm looking forward. My name is Tony. I'm looking forward to have met you yesterday. I'm looking forward to our Zoom call tomorrow. Please make sure that Zoom works for you. And then again, I thank you for taking this time to talk to us, and I'll see you tomorrow. Send that quick video. Send it out, right? That's how you keep them in the line, keep them hooked. The same day, just send them a quick text. Hey, so excited to show you what we have to present and show you and what we have to present to you guys today. Can't wait to see you on the Zoom. See you later. Keep it short and sweet.
You do a video or an audio text message?
I usually do video.
Wow.
Just because it's more of a personal touch. And it just comes across that way. But you can do text. On that last one is usually just a text on the same day because I don't want to give it too much touch. I'll just do a quick text to remind them I can't wait to see them later today on the Zoom. And then I just go from there. But the scavenger hunt is used for new people knocking doors and is also used for when a rep is in a slump. So when they're in a slump, you pull out the scavenger hunt again and you go ahead and re-implement it. Okay. That scavenger hunt works like a champ. It's been proven time and time again. I do recommend, if Jonathan wants, he can share it with you guys, and you guys definitely try it with new people you have coming on, or try it for yourself. And again, just Jonathan, you can share it with them too, the door knocking materials as well. And just read the door knocking materials. Some of that stuff comes from some of the best stuff that I've seen and what we've had implemented. And we're using it daily. Today, matter of fact, we're going to go out and use it again today at 12.
All right. So explain this.
Oh, go ahead.
Anthony, go
All
ahead.
right, so
Go on.
what is the scavenger hunt one more time? You just go out and get toilet paper and stuff like that? What do y'all do again? I missed that. Maybe I didn't get that right.
Roll of a piece of a toilet paper that has COVID-19 currency on it. Again, you're trying to keep it light, right? You're trying to just keep it light and not, hey, I'm not here to sell you anything. But at the end is when you're pushing back and then saying, we would like to, if we can set up, I mean, what we do too, when we get to that final part on the full name, is we tell them, like, if you sit down with my boss, like, he's going to come out with a $25 gift card. You know,
Okay.
the day of the presentation. Bro, I'll pay $25 every day for an appointment. You can't get that, right? And then obviously, you know, whoever's knocking, right? I mean, it depends on how you guys have it worked out. If they're within Powur, you, I mean, $25 for the appointment, Lily and Jonathan will tell you, I'll take that all day long. You know, not a problem. I don't mind paying that right when I get to that door when it's time to present, you know, or Zoom for that matter. As soon as they jump on the Zoom, I'll Venmo them or Zelle them the $25 right on the spot. I have no problem with that because they actually sat down and listened to me.
And then, are you using any software like a Sales Rabbit, Sales Genie to track to do the door knocking, or no?
So I do have Sales Rabbit. I'll be honest with you, I hardly ever use it. And I do have my own, I built my own canvassing app. So when we're out on the doors, there's no notepads. We actually fill it out right there on the door. And what it does is sends us an email of the actual potential customer or of the people we're speaking to. And then it puts them in drip campaigns if we want them to be put in the drip campaigns. And it writes back to a Google sheet. So that's what I have set up. But I do have Sales Rabbit. I just hardly ever use it.
Question, do you use a slick? Like when you go, like, do you have something in your hand that you could show them or no? You know, like when I'm talking about those laminated sheets or something that they want, but you don't let them keep or no?
I do actually.
Nice. I knew you did. I just was wondering what it was. Because that keeps them engaged. That keeps them curious. Like, what the hell is that in her hand? And then they go, can I keep it? And you're like, no, it's laminated. See, I only show it to the homeowners that are going to sign up and blah, blah, blah. So it's just a point of engagement. And people always want what they can't have. So it kind of makes them want the appointment to see what the hell you have, you know, what you're talking about.
So I walk around with the Zillow article.
Oh, I like it.
And I usually walk around with the utility bill. So like
Like a before and after.
yes, a before and after. And then for up here, I walk around with an actual PG&E letter that we got at the end of July that tells us our rates are now going up even more. And it has my name right here. So I show them that this is me. My name is Tony. Did you receive this letter? Do you remember receiving this letter? It talks about how our rates are going up. I even have this. This is my address right here. So what I'm doing is walking around educating homeowners the importance of going solar. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person knocking your door or have knocked your door. But we're doing free energy audits right now. Is there anything I can do to see if this helps you? And then I go into about how they can send me their bill and I get it right there on the spot.
Cool, perfect. That's all I wanted to know.
I'll just add into Jeremy Stanfield and Jeff Navarro. They're pretty good on the doors. Jeremy came from Vivint, so they used to have a slick laminated page or two, and part of that shows, your electric rates are so high because the energy has to be produced, go through power lines, substations, transformers, then finally your house. And solar is so cheap is because it's already on your house. So it's a really cool laminate that just 1, 2, 3 punch shows them why they need a free savings report. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I have had one of those similarly, that on the back it has the net metering, which is that. So you explain that now the energy will be produced on your rooftop, eliminating the generation, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, it's like the pitch that we do. So they don't see that part, but we have it just in case we need to look down at it. But yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
That's a good pitch also.
How the net metering works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
Hey, could y'all post some of those in the group so that way we can take a look at it? Or
Jonathan, if you want, I can share my knocking binder with you guys because I have it in digital and hard copy. So I'll just share it with you and then you can post it. One of the last things I do have on the back of it, and it's not on this one, it's on the other one, is I have the actual tax credit form on me. So if I'm able to get all the way to that point, I already know, like, dude, they're serious. And at that point, I bust out the tax credit form that they need in order to fill this out to get their tax credit. And once I get to that point, they're going solar. It's already there.
Right.
Now the question is, when can we have this meeting to do this? Sometimes I'll tell them like, hey, if they tell me like, hey, I don't buy from people that knock doors, and I'll say, neither do I. And again, this is what I tell them, like, I couldn't sell anything to save my life. My job is just to show you the reports and show you how we can go ahead and save you money. If you like, I can take my shoes off right now and we can go sit down at the kitchen table and I can call my engineers and we can get this going and see what we have for you.
Nice.
Yeah. Stuff like that. Stuff like that works. Sometimes you gotta be a little aggressive on it, but you can generally push through the doors.
If you're really, really nice in the beginning, you could be very aggressive and they don't mind it because you built that rapport, you gain their trust, and they're just like, oh, she's just doing her job. He's just doing his job.
Yeah. And again, just push it back. I have guys that will go knock doors and then they'll, in the middle of when they're doing their presentation, they're going to call me and be like, hey, so can we do better pricing? I'm like, bro, you know where you're at. So just why? No
setup.
Right. They're trying to put it off by like saying, hey, I'm going to go to bat for you. Let me call my boss. I get it, but so there's that stuff too that people do when they actually get to that point when they're inside the home on the same day. They'll say they'll call and they'll do what they can. What I've done, and I've used it to my advantage when I go knocking against like Infinity Energy. So one of my good buddies up here runs Infinity Energy. So from time to time, I'll run into his crew. And it's something I learned from him. What I do if I'm out knocking and if I see them roll up in 2 vans, I'll try to go hit every door and let them know, like, if you don't mind, if you can give me your utility usage, there's a group of guys walking around with green shirts that say Infinity Energy. If you give me your bill first, they'll leave you alone. When can I come back and talk to you? Savage. I use it on him all the time, and he always says, "Bro, why did you do that on my guys?" I'm like, bro, you're the one that told me that you use it, so why I'm gonna use the same thing. So do stuff like that too. If you come across like people out there knocking, like you're not knocking a competition. You're just saying like they're coming around walking right now, knocking, talk to you. The only way you can get them to stop is if you give me a copy of your utility bill. I'll come back and show you. You don't have to buy, but just so you can see it. When's a good time I can come back? And if you don't mind giving this to me right now, just tell me you're already working with me. They'll leave you alone.
Nice.
So
Awesome stuff, Tony. Few more minutes here. Any last questions for Tony?
Yeah, this is Ray Dietrich. I've got a quick question. Tony, you used the terminology, my engineers.
correct.
Who are these people and what are they doing?
So the reason I say my engineers is because I'm not telling them that I'm the one that's doing the proposal for them. I want to show them that I'm just here to educate them and show them what our engineers are giving it back to us. So like when you submit for a proposal, that's what we call engineers on our terms, but we just don't tell the customer like, oh yeah, we do it all in-house. We want to like separate it, right?
Okay,
That's
perfect.
what we create some separation.
That proposal tool, the max fit design, the azimuth, the tilt, the PV watts calculation, how many kilowatt hours would be produced on your roof. We took the time to make this proposal. We all know that takes us 2 minutes, right? But I love how Tony says that our engineers and designers took the time to make this for you. And the next engineer is the site surveyor as well. So,
yep.
Right on. Any more questions? Well, Tony, hey, it's so cool to work with you and have you on the team and provide so much value for us. Super, super great nuggets that you dropped today. And this will be recorded and shared as well. And we'll make sure to share those resources.
Yeah.
And Tony will soon be a mentor. So make sure to work with him if you'd love to get more training and knowledge, if he even has time for it. So Tony, thank you so much, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you, boss.
All righty, guys, it's the top of the hour. I just want to remind you that next Tuesday, February 2nd, we're going to have Sonova. Alex is going to be training 10 a.m. Pacific, teaching us on some different Sonova products, which is like Jarret Close's biggest deal ever is a great tool to have. And then we've got about 5 days left. Go to scaleup.solar, get your ticket, $100. VIPs $199. There's 5 days left before the prices go up. I really truly believe that you'll be able to learn so much from a lot of the top people and some authors and publishers and great information. The VIP tickets are about 80% sold out. So 5 more days to try to get your ticket there. Jarret, any last closing words?
I just want to say, man, from someone who door knocked his entire life, started off, ran van crews. That was awesome to hear Tony just spit fire, like he does at the door and crushes it. It was kind of getting me excited. I kind of want to go out there and start knocking on some doors, generating some leads.
Me too.
Right. And for you guys, I know we have people from all different aspects of this company, people who just started, like Mr. Michael Jackson, all the way to solar veterans like Cynthia and Lily. But if the Powur platform, the way it's set up, you can get so creative and give people opportunity to make money by door knocking. Anthony just gave you guys the scripts. You don't even have to reinvent the wheel. So if you're like, how can I generate some leads? Get some young entrepreneurs or some hustlers or some people that want to make some money. You have 2 different ways. One, you could sign them up as an ambassador and say, go knock on doors, generate leads. It goes to you. You're going to pay them $1,000 for each one of those that close. Once they've done a couple of those and shown them they can do it, sign them up for Powur. And now they're getting 50% splits and they're out there generating leads. You just become the master of actually selling the system and the proposals. But yeah, I mean, I have a couple guys that go out there and knock on doors, but I want more now. I mean, we have all the tools right there. It's so easy. And that's such a killer opportunity for anybody. You have friends, family members, you got, little nephews or cousins or people that you want to put on and that have hustle and ability to go make it happen. I will say though, if you're going to have people knock on doors, you best to be willing to go out there and knock with them in the beginning to show them how to do it. So
I just
door
want
knocking is a tried and true method of generation of sales generation, self-generation. There are people who have created massive wealth with knocking on doors. Never think that you're too good to do it. And some of the best leads that you're going to get come from those people who knocked on a door where they built a personal relationship. They generated the electric bill rather than somebody clicking on a sales funnel online and then you're constantly getting no-shows on Zoom calls. So anyway, mad props to Tony. That was awesome. Great knowledge sharing with us. So appreciate it.
Absolutely. I just want to add, my first 5-6 years, I would do what's called clover leafing. If a site surveyor was up on the roof, I'd go there and take a picture of the surveyor on the roof. And then I would go 8 homes across, 8 down, 8 across, 8 back, and 8 across. And I would clover leaf. I would either knock or I would leave a flyer. Something I did for 6 years, guys. And at my installations, you're coming back again. If you need a little something to do, keep yourself busy, go to your surveys, go to your installs, bring some flyers and just cloverleaf. There's no excuse why we shouldn't be doing that at the minimum.
At the minimum. Yeah. And there's that keeping up with the Jones factor. I mean, if your neighbor across the street or 2 doors down is getting a beautiful solar system put onto their roof and you're coming by next door just saying, hey, just want to come by, introduce myself. The Jones across the street, they're getting their system set up. Have you guys ever considered going solar before? Have you ever thought about it? Just an opening question to see what they say. And then, you go from there with your pitch. But yeah, clover leafing. I mean, you guys could make a couple $100,000 this year just from clover leafing. It's there. It's on the table. You just got to go out there and get it.
Amen. Yep. All right. Great stuff today, guys. I'll put this recording up on YouTube and Facebook. I'll upload the door knocking scripts as well, so you guys can all have that. I look forward to seeing you again Tuesday next week. And if you close any deals, have any successes, shout it out on the Facebook Messenger groups. Hope you all have a successful week. Thank you, Jarret.
Awesome. All right, you guys.
See ya. Have a good day.
Peace.
Later.